Hi, everyone that's joining in. We are going to give people 3 more minutes before starting, but we will be promptly starting at 10 a.m. Again, for those of you just now hopping on, we're going to promptly be starting at 10 a.m. Thank you. Alrighty, it's 10 a.m. Happy Friday, everyone. Let me turn my camera on. Okay. Happy Friday, everyone. I hope everyone has had a great week. I know I am very glad that it is Friday. We'd like to welcome you all to our eAR Reporter Brown Bag session for the reporting year 2024. Next slide, please. Most of you may already be familiar with our names and faces, but for those of you who are not, this is our eAR customer service team. We have Wendy Kilu, who is our logistics lead, myself, Gabriela Gutierrez, and Jonathan Swady. Next slide, please. You are going to be able to participate in this presentation. One way is by submitting a question using the Q&A feature at the bottom of your Zoom screen. Second is by raising your hand, and you'll be given an opportunity to provide a verbal comment or question. We do ask that if you raise your hand, that you wait for your name to be called on, and if you could please limit your questions and comments to 3 minutes per participant, and we'll be answering comments and questions at the end of the presentation. Next slide, please. These are the topics that we are going to be covering today. First one, navigating updated eAR website, user guidance documents and resources, assistance with completing the eAR, training videos, enhancements that were made for this reporting year, things to keep in mind, and we will be covering the dates and times for our future office hours Q&A webinars. And as I mentioned beforehand, we'll be opening up the floor for comments and questions. Next slide, please. Navigating the updated eAR website. Next slide. Not sure if many of you have gone to check out our EAR website, but there has been quite a few updates that we have made to the website. First things I want to highlight is there is an updated technical reporting order. We the original technical reporting order that came out in last year of January 2024 is still available for you to see, and the amended one for this year, January 2025, is also available. And now we're going to be going into the tabs that are under Learn More. As you can see, I did highlight three tabs where these are new tabs or tabs that we've had, but we revamped the information that is found in there. And we're going to be going into details into each of those. Next slide, please. First tab that you find on our website is the Login and Reporting tab. There we've now added a button that is, when you click on it, it takes you directly to the eAR portal login. Next slide. A new tab that we added this year is the Requesting Technical Assistance. This is assistance that the State Water Board offers for water systems to help complete the eAR. So in order to get this assistance, you do have to apply. The application is found there on our website where it says Online eAR Technical Assistance Application. You click on that and that'll open up a form that you'll complete. If you are unable to complete the application, there is an email that you can contact. You can see here on the screen. It's dfa-ta request@waterboards.ca.gov. There is a deadline to apply, which is March 1st of this year. It's free if you qualify, and we also added some text of what systems are eligible to have technical assistance for completing the eAR, and what systems are prioritized. Next slide, please. Thank you. In the background and frequently asked questions tab, we did update the FAQs document. That was the one document that was updated in that tab. Now we're into the resources tab. This is the tab where we did one of the major updates, or we added resources for you all. The first big one is the eAR Reporter Worksheet, which is a downloadable spreadsheet that it has replaced the blank template that we've had and provided for you all in the previous years. This includes all the questions that are found in the eAR, and it has directions. It also has a column where you are able to input your information and data. This is something I know we had requests from you all. We heard you, and we had these requests in our previous trainings that we had held, and also in input forums. So we hope this is a useful document for you all, and that it makes it easier to be able to send to your staff, your team that are all filling in the eAR. And Wendy is going to be going into more details on that spreadsheet and giving you all a demo. The next resource that our customer service team worked on were creating these tutorial videos. These are videos guiding you through the eAR, guiding you through each section of the eAR. This includes finding resources on our website, new registration, and how to update your account, how to reset your password, and more things. We hope that this is useful, and we were very excited that we were able to provide this for you all. And we still do have the user guidance document that's posted up there, but we decided to make these tutorial videos. I know for me, I'm more of a visual person, and having a tutorial video really does help. And Jonathan will be giving a demo of these tutorial videos and giving a little more information on those videos. Next slide, please. Another tab that we added new information to and kind of revamped is the data downloads tab. Now the reporting year 2023 data is publicly available. It's now broken up into sections and they are text files. And the previous years, reporting years 2013 to 2022, we are actively working on trying to get those posted as soon as possible. Next slide. Dates of interest, these important dates and events, they're found on the website on the right-hand side. First important is the eAR reporting deadline, which this year is on April 1st, 2025. And then we have the technical assistance deadline, which I covered, is March 1st, 2025. And then another date that we want to highlight is our office hours, number one, Q&A. This will be covering sections 1 through 7, and we'll be going over more into detail about what these office hours are going to be. If you haven't registered, please do so, and the links are on the website where it says register here. Thank you. Next slide. If you are wondering, how do I subscribe to get eAR notifications on our website, there where the red arrow is, you can click on subscribe to our email list, and that'll open up a web page. If you could go to the next slide, please. And you enter in the email address that you want to be receiving, where you want to be receiving these notifications. Next slide. And specifically for receiving eAR notifications, you would check mark where it is there encircled and with the red circle, electronic annual report general. And of course, you can check mark any of the other ones, but specifically to receive notifications regarding the eAR, you would click that topic. And if you are needing to unsubscribe or maybe update your email address, you can do so. And with any email that you receive, you just go down to that email and you click on the link that's provided where it says update your subscriptions, modify your password or email address, etc. And you will click on that and you'll be able to update whatever information you need to. Next slide. Okay, Wendy, I believe it's now your time.
Great. Thank you, Gabby.
You're welcome.
Welcome, everybody. I am very excited to and happy that Gabby shared all our new items that we are providing this year to you all, especially resources. We worked hard and listened to you all of things that you all wanted. So I'm hoping that you all find it useful. Um, I'm going to go over just in general guidance documents and resources. And like Gabby said, I'm going to go through a demo of the worksheet that we are providing. The first thing, reiterating the technical assistance that we provide to you all to apply for. Again, to get that application, you would go to your requesting technical assistance section or tab, and it will open up that website and you would click the application. On the right-hand side, this is what the application form looks like. You go ahead and fill out to the best of your ability. If you do have questions, feel free to email the DFA email address that's on the website. And again, the application deadline is March 1st. Another place where you can get to this application form is on your eAR portal main page when you go into the eAR itself. And it's you can see on the bottom here the red box technical assistance for reporting to DDW. So the reporter worksheet. Again, like Gabby said, it's under resources and it's that second bullet, eAR reporter worksheet Excel file. This worksheet was really for water systems who communicated that they have multiple staff who fill out this eAR, but it was very difficult to fill it out going back and forth and not having something that they can collect all together and one or two people can enter the information. So we're hoping this works for you all. Again, any feedback that you have on this or questions, please email us. This is a draft um, worksheet, so we're always open to improvements. So I'm going to go over a quick demo and kind of how to navigate this worksheet and how to read it. Again, if you have any questions about it, we're always here to help. See if it opens. Oops, you can do it. Okay, hope you all can see this. Gabby, can you confirm that this looks
Yes.
right? Okay, good.
Yep.
Okay, this may just, I think I'm feeding off the server here, so it may take a minute. Um, Actually, let me do this real quick. I think I'm gonna, this is not, my computer just froze. There we go. Okay, so the first tab here is a README tab. These are little tidbits that we are providing you to help guide you through this kind of um, things to keep in mind when you're reading this spreadsheet. Um, but the biggest one is the orange color tabs, these one, two, three, and so forth, are tabs for each section of the eAR. Um, and then the beige color tabs, if you scroll over here with the little arrows, you'll see these beige color tabs. These are what we call the reportable grid tabs. These are those downloadable Excel spreadsheets that you can fill in with information about your operator to re-upload into Excel to fill out upload into the eAR to fill out specific tables. These tabs are not you would need to, if you want to use this specific tab, you need to save this specific worksheet on your computer or somewhere and not the entire worksheet and try to upload the entire worksheet to the eAR. That's going to cause an error and you're going to have to email us and tell us to release that error and try again. So, I added these just as a guide, that those are there in that those sections. But the key sections to look at, or the key tabs to look at when you're going through the eAR and the question answers, are these orange color tabs. How each tab is organized is the first column is going to be the data field that is displayed in the eAR, or the question that is displayed in the eAR. That's in column A here. The next one is kind of a duplication of the tab. It's just stating the eAR section that Q&A is located, or the question is located, excuse me. Column C is the data type. So it's going to go through and say, oh, this is a calculation, or oh, this is a text, or oh, this is a checkbox. And it just helps you um, um, know kind of what that data field type is when answering that question. D is important. It kind of helps you, it describes what that data is asking for. Um, Column E lets you know whether that field is mandatory or conditionally mandatory or not applicable. So, like for example, this physical location zip code, that is going to be highlighted as yellow because it's a mandatory field in the eAR and it's going to be mandatory. So if you don't fill that out, you're going to get an error at the end when you're trying to submit it. Um, Conditionally mandatory just means that if you answered a question, then that question would be required. Um, and column F is probably one of the most important columns in this worksheet. It tells you whether or not you have it's where it's from, the data source, what the if it's a drop down, what the options are for those drop downs so that you can answer that um, question. Whether it's a hide show, so if you answered um, a question a certain way, that question's going to show up and you need to answer it. Um, and then column G is what you're reporting into the eAR. So that's where you would put your answer if the staff member wants to change that field or whatever answer they have for that field. Um, the sections that are have a lot of hide show, and this was a comment from you all, is the sections 8A, B, and C, and also section 16 has quite a few hide show logics. So just real quick, you'll see in this column F, it will say visible if you select yes or no for question, and this is question A1. So sorry, this spreadsheet went all the way to bottom, but here's A1. If you select yes, then that question would be visible. Um, so going forward, I hope that this spreadsheet would provide some more insight on how to fill out the eAR also. Again, if you guys have any questions, reach out to us. We're here to help you. Um, so going back to the presentation. See if I can get to it. There it is. So that's the demo. And also, if you guys have questions at the end, feel free to raise your hand or ask a question in the Q&A about this spreadsheet. Oh, and another just tidbit is when you download the spreadsheet off of the eAR website, it is highly recommended that you save it to your desktop or to your computer and then obviously fill it out. I would hate to see you work on it and then lose that information. The next document is the eAR user guidance document. Like Gabby said, this is the written help guide for the videos that we created. So if you're more of a person that likes to read or go through a document and try to find information, this is the document that you would use. And here are very, we use this document just as a FYI, we use this document as our guide on what videos we were gonna create. So pretty much everything in the videos is in this document. FAQs, Gabby said they got updated. The FAQs are just some frequently asked questions with some answers about the eAR and its platform. And here's how some questions that are included in there, like, when's the report due? Can I submit the eAR hard copy? How can I print my final report? Things like that. So when in doubt, if you have a question, we always suggest that maybe you look at some of these documents we provide before contacting our customer service team, because all we do is we go in and try to find the information in these documents. So, next item, when contacting, um, oops, when you may want to get more um, information about technical information within the eAR, like how to fill out a specific field, you may want to contact your regulator. And how you find that is under Resources tab. At the bottom of the page, it'll say Regulator Assistance, and it will have a tab for the map of your district office or if you're regulated by a local primacy agency, i.e. like county environmental health, um, you would click that and that would come up with this document here of information. That's if you maybe are new to this whole process or don't know who your regulator is off the top of your head. Um, you can start there and try to get a hold of them. Another way to find out who that regulator might be is to go on to the Public Drinking Water Watch. And this is you can get to it via your eAR main portal page when you log in, and it's the fourth tab down here, Public Drinking Water Watch. You would type in your water system number, or you can type in your water system name. Once it finds it, it will this page on the right will appear, and if you scroll down and look on the red box here, it will say drinking water district or county health department, and it will list your regulator information. You can email them, you can call them. So that's another way to find it. Might be an easier way to find it. So when requesting help, and you're going through the eAR, typing away, and you're like, I just don't understand this question, or what do I put in for this question? At the end of each page, each section page, there's an email for help on this page. And actually what this does is it opens up an email box here and you type in your name and it should pre-populate your email address. You put your phone number and email text, and this actually goes directly to your regulator's email. So that's a really good way of communicating with your regulator. We don't get these, by the way. But if a regulator thinks that we can help, they'll forward it to us sometimes. So, and again, as we iterated many, many times, is contacting us, the customer service support team, is you can on your eAR portal main page, you can click help and contact. That will automatically put our email address into your email browser. Or you can just type in this email address on the right here and send us an email. Takes about right now it's taking us about a day or two to get back to you. So please be patient with us. If it's a very complicated thing, it may take we'll get back to you saying we're working on it, but it may take a little while. But we'll let you know. So I'm gonna give the mic to Jonathan and he's gonna talk to you about eAR training videos. So thank you.
All right. Thank you, Wendy. Yeah, my name is Jonathan. I'm part of the customer service team here, and I'm going to go over some of the new item for this year. One of the new items is the eAR training videos. So I'm going to go into some detail and just provide a little overview of what they are and how they can help you, hopefully. So again, to find these videos, they are on the eAR homepage under resources. Now, if you look here under new and those brackets there, those are going to be the videos. And when you click on the video, they'll open up into a new browser where you can watch watch the video. So some of these videos they cover each section, and they're a kind of a guide to each section, as well as covering a few of the more common issues that we've seen come up quite often. Some of those issues are how to add your water system, how to reset your password, new user registration, um, and issues like that. So these are videos are going to just kind of a guide, like I mentioned, and they're going to walk you through them. Now, there's no audio to these videos, so they're just like short videos that range from around 2 minutes to around a half hour at the most. So the videos that I want to highlight that do have some audio are sections 8A and 8B, and they're also quite a bit longer because those sections are quite um, lengthy, and there's a lot of hide show logic um, and questions in those sections. So again, if you have any questions, please email us about these videos, but hopefully you find them helpful. And again, they kind of reflect what's already in the user guidance document, just in a video format that is hopefully a little bit easier to follow and get out of what you need. So again, so I'm going to in this video here, or in this slide, excuse me, we're going to show a quick demo, about 30 seconds or so, of the video of what it looks like, give you an idea of what they are. And again, there is no audio. Um, and yeah, go ahead and press play. So again, about 30 seconds or so, we'll stop it just for in the interest of time here. And as you can see, we try to put it in a step format and try to make it somewhat user-friendly. All right, thank you, Wendy. Again, these are found on the resources section in the eAR homepage. So please use those and let us know if you find them helpful. All right, so moving on here, I'm going to cover some of the reporting year 2024 section enhancements. So these are some of the enhancements that we've made for this reporting year. Um, and here's the table that shows the sections which the changes were made, and then the changes that were in fact made. So there's not as much as there were last year. There's just a little bit more fine tuning. So some of these changes were new questions added, new features. Some features were deleted. Text revisions was the biggest change that we've made. Some help tips text change, some hide show logic, and some notifications that we've created. So section 8, as you can see here, saw some of the biggest changes, the most changes. But overall, not as big as last year, but still always trying to improve and always to try to improve the user experience for you. Next slide, please.
And Jonathan,
Yep.
I just want to add in, and on the section 8, it was just section 8C that got some added questions and text revisions.
Okay. Thank you, Wendy. Yeah, so section 8C is the one that saw those most of those changes. So some of the changes to note here, I'm going to go through this. My profile cell phone numbers are now required to begin an eAR. So when you begin your eAR, please check to make sure that your cell phone number is in your profile, or else you will not be able to start your eAR. So Wendy mentioned section 8C, saw new questions, and saw some hide show logic that was added. Sections 11, 14, and 15. I know last year we had a lot of issues with reportable grid, so this year we fixed that reportable grid download feature. And please let us know if it's not working, but so far it's been working great. So throughout this eAR survey, multiple help tips were updated. As far as the framework goes, emails are now sent to reporters who were denied their request to manage a water system. So previously, if you weren't denied, there was a notification. So we changed that. So if you are denied, you will get that email. An additional change is you can only add a maximum of 100 water systems at a time in the Manage My Water System feature that's located in my profile. Next slide. All right, I'm going to hand the mic to Gabby.
Thank you, Jonathan. Okay, things to keep in mind while you're filling out and completing the eAR. Next slide, please. SIDWA's pre-fill update. So there are, as most of you may know, or if you're new, there are sections that are in the eAR where data is migrated from the Safe Drinking Water Information Database, which we call SIDWIS. I put some screenshots here on the right-hand side. These are a few of the sections where data is migrated. These aren't all the sections. These are just a couple examples, which is section 2, the contacts, population served, which is section 3, and section 4, number of service connections. We want to let you all know that the eAR portal and SIDWIS are not connected for automatic updates. So if you are seeing errors in your current eAR that's not reflected from what you input last year, that should have been migrated. We urge you to please contact your regulating agencies so as they are responsible for updating the data. Next slide. When you're downloading any of the documents in the eAR, I gave some examples here. There's the CCRs, CCR certs, reportable grid. As Wendy mentioned, these are sections, I believe, 11, 14, and 15. When you're uploading those documents, do not click on anything while the web page is loading. We just want to be sure that your documents are getting uploaded. So here on this screenshot, this is on Edge. When something is loading, this wheel is spinning, the icon, it spins, and then once it's done, it stops. So we just want to be sure your documents that you're uploading are getting uploaded completely. Next slide. Things to keep in mind when you're moving from section to section. Same thing, do not click on anything while the web page is loading. Second thing is if the speed of the eAR platform is causing an issue while you're completing your report, except for sections 8, we know that those sections do take a long time. And as Jonathan mentioned, there's a lot of hydrologic, it's a hefty chunk of a section. But not including section 8, if moving from section to section, it's taking a really long time. If you could please email us at the email shown there on the screen, which is our customer service email. And we just want to highlight that this is only for concerns where it's taking a really, really long time, not really minor delays of just a few seconds. Next slide. Okay, now we are going to be covering the disadvantaged community fee reduction. So this applies to only community water systems that are state regulated. So this is found in section 1B of the eAR. And first thing I'm going to go over are the water system types. So the breakdown of small water system or large water system. This breakdown is only for the DAC fee reduction. So if whether you're small, what the service connections, whether you're small or large, this is for DAC fee reduction only. So if your system has less than 1,000 service connections, you are a small water system. If your system has greater than or equal to 1,000 service connections, your system is a large water system. And you'll see why this is important when you're applying for a DAC fee reduction in the following slides. Like I mentioned, only community water systems regulated by the state are eligible to request a DAC fee reduction. The DAC request must come from the water system, and no information that's submitted by your regulating agency on the behalf of the water system is going to be accepted. Next slide. Now I'm going to be going over on how to apply for receiving a DAC fee reduction. So this slide right here, this is for new requests. So this is if your system is currently not receiving a DAC fee reduction. You are going to check the disclaimer box that's shown there on the screen, and then you are also going to complete and upload a DAC certification form. Now, the form is found there on the screen, or there's a link right there where the red arrow says click here. That'll open up a web page where the application will be found, and then you will complete that and you will upload it into the eAR. If you are wanting more detailed instructions step by step on how to do this process, I recommend that you watch the tutorial video that's labeled Section 1, Intro and DAC fee reduction. Next slide. This is what the application looks like. Next slide. If you could please fill out every single section that needs to be filled out. I've circled those in red. If there's any missing information, the water system there's a risk of you not being able to receive a DAC fee reduction. So please be sure that you are filling out the application completely. Next slide is the other half of the application. Be sure to put in your full name, print your full name, sign, and date. Next slide. Okay, now this is for small water systems. So again, this is for water systems who have a service connection that is less than 1,000 service connections. If you are currently receiving a DAC fee reduction, you only have to check the disclaimer box. And that will get you, that's your application. You just have to check mark the box. Again, that's if you are receiving a DAC fee reduction. For large water systems, so this is water systems with greater than or equal to 1,000 service connections. If you currently are receiving a DAC fee reduction, you have to do both check the disclaimer box and complete and upload the DAC certification form. Next slide. If your water system does not meet the requirements, you will not receive a DAC fee reduction. The review of these applications is going to begin in April and it's going to go through August of this year. And based on the Division of Drinking Water's review, if your system is approved, the DAC fee reduction will be applied to the billing year 25-26, and those invoices usually normally get mailed around December 2025 or in December. Okay. If some of you state regulated community water systems, if you've already started your eAR, you may have already seen there is new language in section 1B of proposed changes that may be coming. So we have, it's here showing us where Wendy has her mouse on. So beginning the billing cycle for fiscal year 25-26, there are proposed regulation changes that are currently going through the process of becoming approved. If these changes do get approved, the new process is the State Water Board is going to be determining whether your system is a DAC, whether your system qualifies for a DAC fee reduction. So as what's stated there, State Water Board plans to assess whether your water system qualifies as a DAC water system, defined as serving a population with an income of 80% of the state MHI. If there are changes to your DAC status, we will be contacting you directly. We being the DDW, we will be contacting you directly of any changes to your water system. And just to note, these proposed changes are not going to impact the fiscal year 24-25. Now, if you want to attend any of these meetings where that are the stakeholder meetings, you are able to do that. And to get notifications of when those meetings are, you can, the same way we showed you on how to get to the subscription on our website, rather you can check mark the drinking water program fees, check mark that, and you'll also be receiving notifications of when those meetings are. Just one thing to highlight, one more from that previous slide. Please be sure that you do read that, read carefully the new proposed language. Thank you. Next slide. Okay, we have a poll. Okay, so the poll is, did you find this presentation helpful? Yes, no, unsure. We'll give you guys about 30 seconds to answer. Okay, think. Oh, good, great to hear. We got 88% of people, so it looks like we have 83 who responded to this. 88% of you said yes, and 12% said unsure. And if you are, for those of you who are unsure, if you have any recommendations of how we could make these presentations or these trainings more helpful, please let us know. As both Jonathan and Wendy have mentioned, we're open to feedback and we're always willing to help. So the future dates for eAR office hours Q&A. So this year we are going to be holding EA office hours Q&A. So these are still going to be on Zoom. There's going to be webinars, and we have them broken up into sections. So sections, as you can see, the first one that's going to be on February 21st is sections 1 through 7 of the ER. The second one, sections 8, and then the last one on March 21st, sections 9 through finalize. These are we are going to these 1 hour sessions are for you all to bring your questions to us. So it's going to be more of a discussion between you and us. And we're hoping that this is more helpful for you guys where we are able to answer the questions that you have. We are going to be having subject matter experts that for sections that they are probably more qualified than us to answer those questions for you, and they will be available. They'll be participating in these webinars. So again, the one that's coming up, I believe, is that in 2 weeks, February 21st, 10 a.m. to noon. Bring all the questions that you have that are specific to sections 1 through 7. And now we are going to open up
The
the
Q&A.
floor. Yes.
This is Wendy. I'm going to go ahead and start the Q&A comments and questions. And then if anyone would like to raise their hand and ask their question or provide a comment verbally, please go ahead and do so. And I will, when I do that, I'll unmute you and you can go ahead and do so. So the first question I have here is, we are a school district. How do I find out if I need to do this, meaning fill out the eAR? The city supplies us with all our drinking water except for one very small water system, 2 to 10 people use only. That tested bi-monthly and or quarterly. Um, Ricky, can you please go forward and provide um actually, we will contact you offline and tell you
Hey,
whether or not. Also, go
hey,
ahead.
Wendy.
Yeah.
Ricky commented later on, cancel that question. I
Okay.
found the answer.
Sorry. Good. Okay. Thank you, Ricky. We got another question here. Do water system reporters get notified when their report is approved? No. I believe we do not have that. But if we want to look into that as an enhancement, I am going to write that down. So I can see how that might be. They do get emails. The reporters will get emails if the report has been handed back to them by the regulator for revisions, but I do not believe there's one saying that, hey, it's been approved by the regulator. So I will look into email. Thank you, Krista. Next one. Okay, Ricky's question. Another person had, why or how can I determine if I need to fill out these forms? When I search for my water system associate, it's not listed under manage water systems. Again, Josh, if you can provide us the water system name that you believe is regulated via the eAR customer service website that we provided in this presentation, we can get back to you on whether or not this is required for you or not.
I'm going to input our
Sorry.
email, customer service
Okay,
email.
thank you.
Just, yeah.
Um, Another question, just want to confirm the only tabs that can be directly uploaded to the portal are the beige ones, correct? And Nina is talking about the eAR reporter worksheet um, in the beige tabs, and it's one beige tab per function or section or table that's requiring. There's functionality in the eAR itself too. That is actually kind of helpful for water systems who entered maybe information the year previous year, and they just want to download that information and fix it. So you can do that, but you have to go into the eAR itself, the into and click on the reportable grid and click another tab on how to download that information. This information is available in a short video. I believe it's section 11. There's other sections that have reportable grids to be able to download your data from. So um, refer to resources in the short videos to be able to do that. Um, Natasha is asking, are you going to have another one of these classes? The answer is we're not going to have another brown bag, but we're going to have Q&A sessions, as Gabby mentioned. This video will be available on our website under resources. So check back with us in about a day or two, and this website will be here for you all to reference back to. Next question is, we have been a DAC for years. I submitted this form every year. Am I not supposed to do it every year? This question is Jamie asked this question. Jamie, as of right now, it's you do what is asked in your eAR and submit a form if it's asking for one. If you're, especially if you're a large water system and you want to continue receiving that DAC. There's just the language below that section stating that there is proposed language to change the way we do DACs in the future. So if that does get approved, it'll be a new process, and we'll be reaching out to those who um, have a DAC status change. If you don't hear from us, it means that you do not have a change in your status, and you should be receiving the bill for a DAC if it had not changed. I hope that helps you. It looks like it does. Like the above, I don't understand why we are filling this out. We have 4 employees. Our patients are animals, and we are on a well. Most of these questions don't apply to us. Um, Unfortunately, I get where you're getting at, Debbie. If you have any issues with the questions and how to fill it out, I would highly recommend one to look into technical assistance. If you're, wanting some assistance just filling out the eAR, or contact your regulator and saying, hey, I need some help filling this out. Unfortunately, we are the customer service team, so we deal with the whole platform itself, not the whether you have to fill this out and the questions of how, really this question needs to be filled out. The people who review these eARs are your regulators, so a lot of times they're probably the best to work with, especially when you're a small water system and um, some of this information just doesn't seem to apply to you, but maybe it does for the regulator. So, um, yeah. And if we went over how to find out who that regulator is. Next question. The staff member who used to put these reports together has moved on to another agency. I've attempted to update my profile information, but the email is uneditable. Would it be easier just to make a new account entirely? If so, will I still have access to our historical emails? The question is, first question is yes, please make a new account with your email and associate the water system or water systems that you oversee or want to fill an eAR out to your profile. And those videos, again, short videos I find for me are great. Um, associate those water systems, submit it, and your regulator will approve you. Once you're approved, you can fill out the eAR. You will have access to your historical eARs. One item, and I guess we didn't put this in the video. On the top of each page of the eAR, it says something to the effect of view the 2023 eAR, which is your last year's eAR, and that will open up last year's eAR to help you fill out this year's eAR if the information has not changed. Who will be responsible to submit the EA? Wait, Katie asks, who would be responsible to submit the report if there was change of ownership during 2024? Whoever is the owner right now, because granted, you're submitting 2024, but you are submitting right now. So it's whoever, if you need information about 2024, you may have to contact the previous owner. Or like I said, if you're associated with that water system in your account, you can look at last year's and see what that person submitted for last year. So it's always a good um, hyperlink on the top of the page to refer back to. The cell phone is required because we found last year. Oh, sorry. PJ asked, why is a cell phone required? If a person does not have a cell phone, what should the person do? And actually, I'll answer the first one. And Gabby, if you can answer the second one, because you have run into this. Assistance to other reporters. But the cell phone became required. We added that because not everybody has a business phone, and we found that cell phones are, for the most part, what people use to communicate. So when reviewers and also us being admin staff needed to get a hold of somebody, we were finding that there were some fields not filled out and we couldn't really get a hold of them or we couldn't call them to help them out. So it's an added field that we felt needed to be required. Um, and Gabby, I'll let you answer if you do not have a cell phone, what you can do.
Yeah, so if you don't have a work cell phone number or you do not want to post your personal phone, um, or enter that your personal phone number into your account, you can do this either by you can override it by inputting whatever work phone that you put above in the previous field for your work phone. You can input that same number, or you can also put 000 and the same amount of numbers that are for a phone number. So if you, again, this is, if you don't have a work cell phone number or you don't feel comfortable putting in your personal cell phone number, you can do override
Mhm.
that.
Thank you, Gabby. Sue asks, we can still update last year's pre-populated tables like operator certification with those have changed. We don't have to use Excel for multiple users. If we do, fine with multiple users doing their sections directly online. Ooh. I believe you're correct, Sue. Um, Actually, do you mind? just clarifying, if I unmute you, clarifying your question or comment. Um, just so I understand. Sue, can't find you. Oh, maybe because you're up here. There you are. Okay, I unmuted you.
Hi,
Hi,
thanks
Sue.
everyone so much. I was looking forward to this today, although Friday may not be the
I
best
know.
day.
I'm
I
sorry.
was just, always interested in what's different from last year. And we have a lot of different situations in the 9 systems that we're
Mhm.
doing the eARs for. Some have partnerships, some do the financial parts, and I can see the benefit of the Excel spreadsheet, and we might use it for pieces of the
Mhm.
information that come from other departments, but we could still just use the same forms from last year and change what's different. Um, and
Mhm.
having multiple users there, I was thinking about the 2 finance departments that fill in a lot of the financial sections. They're very good and used to the regular template. I
Okay.
think that they might be, if they didn't take this class today, a little less sure about using the spreadsheet. So we can still do it the old way, I guess, is my question.
Yeah, and Sue, if you think the one reason why we replaced it, and this is a little bit of work on our end, is because documents online that we post online have to be web accessible. It took a lot of time for us to make that PDF template web accessible. So if you all feel that it is beneficial for us to put that blank template back up, um, we can talk about it in our own group if that's a suggestion, if that's what I'm hearing. Another item we might be able to do too is to provide a blank template on the eAR portal. We actually provide it to our regulators, but we can provide it maybe a hyperlink on the main splash page when you log in that you
I'd
could
be,
down. Sorry, go ahead.
I'd be interested in that myself. And what I intend to do is to take one of the smaller systems and, use that
Hmm.
as the guinea pig and
Hmm.
and see which works better. We have a lot of new staff as well, so
Hmm.
they're not used to any particular format.
Okay. So, um, do you think providing just a hyperlink on the actual eAR portal would be helpful, at least to your operation?
I think so, if you
Okay.
don't mind.
Yeah, we'll look into it.
Okay, thank you very much,
Hmm. For
everyone.
next, no problem. Thank you for attending. Okay. Next question from Debbie. Also, we had a party filling out this last year, and he lied and said our meter didn't work, so he didn't read the meter at all. Our meter works fine, but I just started taking readings in December and January. Um, Debbie, this is something that I think you should communicate with your regulator so that they understand what you're reporting. Um, if, although this information that you're talking about, I think actually is in the clearinghouse, not in the eAR, if I'm not mistaken. So if it's related to the clearinghouse reporting, you have to contact the clearinghouse folk. And I don't have their email address off the top of my head, but Gabby, if you can find that and put it in the chat, that'd be great. Or the Q&A.
Okay, the form.
No, just the email address for anyone related to um, source water or meter readings.
Yes. So
Hmm.
now there is a form that is filled out when there are
Oh,
questions for the clearinghouse. So I
oh,
will
thank
put
you.
that.
You're
Yes.
right. I completely forgot about that.
So just don't move. Don't
Hmm.
I'll leave Debbie's. question up so I can
Yes, I
hit the
will.
link, please. Thank you.
Kayla, first time doing eARs, so we can look at past eARs, but it won't automatically fill fields that usually don't change. Kayla, to clarify, there are some field sections in the eAR that uses last year's data to fill in some columns, but it's not going to automatically fill in what was entered for those columns that you need to enter with the 2023 information. Hope that helps you. Again, if you have questions, refer to the videos and or email us. Kylie. As operators of many small water systems, we fill out portions of the report for them, but we also require they complete parts where we would not have any information. Many of them do not have accounts and are trying to gain access. How long does approval of a manager admin take? So user accounts for the eAR, um, it depends on the regulator approving those accounts. So we don't know what the average time is. If you um, if you if the water system, these small water systems request accounts, then and they're not getting the email or that they're approved, then um, I would suggest contacting your regulator and saying, "Hey, I asked this system asked for a user account and it has not seen that they've gotten approved to start the eAR or to access the eAR." One thing to keep in mind too is that you may want to consider providing them that Excel spreadsheet so that if you all the operators are actually filling out the eAR on their behalf, but you need information from them, you can tell them which sections you need information for and provide them either just, you know, highlight the questions you're asking for. Um, and that might help them not have to have an account and have them go through and maybe accidentally fill it out incorrectly because they maybe don't understand. So, just some suggestions. But as far as how long it takes to improve, to approve an account, there's no, um, I don't have an average amount of time. Some take a day, some take couple days because the regulars are the ones that manage those approvals. I'm going to jump over real quick to someone who raised their hand. Janet, go ahead. I unmuted you. You might have to connect your audio. There you go. I can hear you now.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Anyway, my question is, I wonder what the DAC
Hmm.
fee reduction is. I do not understand. I don't comprehend what DAC is because we have a well. We have 7 people that rent on our property,
Hmm.
literally 7.
Hmm.
And is that included in the minus 1,000 for a fee? And where does this fee come from? I pay
Hmm.
a water bill through the state, and
Hmm.
I'm not sure what that is.
Okay. So disadvantaged community is if you're classified as a community water system,
Yes.
and you get a bill from the state every year, um, you have the option to ask for a disadvantaged community fee reduction. Um, the one thing, Janet, that I would say is to send an email to us, to the eAR customer service team with your water system number and name.
Okay.
And so that we can look up your account and verify that one, you would be eligible, and two, um, it just helps us figure it
Okay.
all out.
Oh,
But disadvantaged communities, there's a definition, as Gabby mentioned in the slides, it's 80%. Gabby, can you repeat that? 80% of the MHI?
Yeah, if you're below the 80% of the state median household income.
um, you could be
oh,
eligible for this disadvantaged community fee reduction
well, whose income?
of the water systems MHI. It's a medium household income. So the customers that you serve, it's like a MHI.
Well,
There's a huge model that goes behind whether you're disadvantaged or not.
all
So
right.
yeah. But
Okay. Well,
yeah, send us an email. It would probably
okay.
be easier than
All right.
trying to
Thank you.
answer it all.
Thank you very much.
No
And
worries.
then just to let you know, Janet, DAC is the acronym for disadvantaged community,
Yeah,
just in case. Okay.
I've written that down, but I said
Okay, cool.
I didn't understand what it was. I didn't
Yes.
get that.
Awesome. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Going on to another question. I had three WTOs retire, water treatment operators, retired last year. I deleted these profiles in the eAR, and we had one new water treatment operator as of January. I entered that profile. Is this correct? Um, y- and I'm assuming, Robert, you're talking about section 11. And yes, if you get rid of the ones that are no longer your water treatment operators, like you said, the three retired, and you add that new one, you should be okay. Now, this information is reviewed by your regulator, so just keep in mind that they're the ones that is looking at this information. And if you have any, you can raise your hand if you have any more details that you want to clarify. Okay, Sherry asked, yes, blank template would be amazing, especially if the hidden drop downs would work. Ooh, that probably won't work, unfortunately. That would be so much easier for finance, please. So the blank template that we had posted in years past on our online website is just a PDF of the eAR. I believe it does not show like the drop downs. It's just literally a blank slate, and we provide that. And really, what it was is just to give the reporters a idea of the layout of the eAR and what the questions were asking. The Section 8 finance is really the one section that is very complex. So you could use the blank template with the Excel spreadsheet to complement, the drop downs, because there is information about drop downs in the Excel spreadsheet. But making the template with all the drop downs just is not doable on how we get the information from DIT. So I apologize for that. Okay. Looks like I'm at the end of the Q&A. If there's any other Q&As or comments that you all would like to share, please go ahead and feverishly type them in now, or raise your hand. Um, I'll just give a few, like 30 seconds for someone to type in their question or comment. Janet, Janet, do you have your hand raised? Oh, no. Okay. Sorry for the moment of silence here. But giving everybody a... Oh, good. Janet, go ahead and ask your question.
I just wanted to thank you guys.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and conclude our
We got
round.
one question
Oh,
and
thank
or
you.
actually two questions in the
Okay,
chat.
so, oh, I didn't scroll down. Sorry, I will not conclude yet. Jamie, every tab in the eAR is for most part very user-friendly. The finance information looks cramped and confusing. Can you guys spread the questions and make them more user-friendly, please? I don't think we can because that's how our like platform is. Like that's what DIT's like um template is like. I can ask, but I'm not too sure on this. I'll ask about um, visual format. I'm assuming like before between. Jamie, do you want to raise your hand so you can double um, clarify? Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, go ahead, Jamie. You might have to connect your audio in the lower left-hand corner.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Oh, is it Jaime or Jamie?
Either one.
Okay, sorry.
Choose. Just- So I've been completing the report for the city of Guadalupe for a few years now,
Mm-hmm.
and for the most part, the tabs are pretty. All the information is pretty user friendly and it's
Mm-hmm.
easy to read and stuff. Except for the finance, there's two tabs on there, and I believe um, there's income and
Mm-hmm.
expenses
Mm-hmm.
is the most confusing, and it seems like question to question is like back to back to back to back, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like all the information seems a little bit cramped. Is it something that can be done to make it a little more, I don't know,
User-friendly?
readable? And, yeah, yeah, user friendly
Unfortunately,
more.
this section, we have not really done a lot in the past couple years with this section because another unit created it. Um, but I will kind of research into it for next year and just put it on our enhancements list. We have a running list of enhancements to improve the eAR, and that's what we work off of. That's unfortunately the best I can do.
Yeah, I mean, I understand this
Mhm.
year there's nothing we could do. It's already
Mm-mm.
out, and but I
Yeah.
think for future, I mean,
Hmm.
I understand a little programming. I mean, I'm gonna
Hmm.
brag about it,
Hmm.
but I think it can be done a little bit better.
Okay.
uh, to just, I mean, I can actually read it and understand
Hmm.
it myself, but
Hmm.
I have to send it to, or those two tabs. I have to send it those questions to our finance department, and
Okay.
sometimes for me it's a little bit, but for them it's probably a lot more because they don't work with this with this
Hmm.
report. So I mean, they've been able to provide me with that information, but I think I mean, spaces between the questions I think would help. That would be a start.
Hmm.
But I don't know. I just seems like it could be a little bit more visually, understandable. I don't know if
Okay.
that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. I do want to, Jaime, encourage you to check out the Excel reporter worksheet that we were talking about and see if that
Mhm.
might help your finance folk.
Yeah,
And
I mean, they've been able to answer the questions, but
okay.
I just if they get a new person or if it's
Yeah.
had somebody else working on it and stuff like that, it's just like they're gonna like, what is this? You know,
Mm-hmm.
small letters and then back to back
Okay.
questions, and then you got other
Mm-hmm.
information that's pre-filled, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
it, it's a little
Mm-hmm.
confusing sometimes. It
Mm-hmm.
you know for my taste, but
Okay.
anyway,
No, I
I'm just wondering if for future
uh-huh.
something can be done to make it just a little bit more better. I think.
We will give it a whirl. Give it
All
a
right,
try.
awesome.
Oh,
That's all.
and
That's all I can ask for. Thank you.
It's okay. Okay. Next question. My email changed due to a company merger last year. Is it possible to change it or do I need to create a new account? You need to go to your old account, disassociate that water system, and then create a new account and associate the water system to your new account. Nina, I hope that answered your question. So, yes, you need to create a new account. Next question. How do we track irrigation meters for commercial or institutional properties? Do we count this towards landscape irrigation or keep them with commercial? This question is pretty technical. I can't answer it on this call. I would suggest coming to our Q&A for this section, wherever that question lies in, or contact your regulator and ask them if they have an answer for you. Okay. Any other questions? Raise your hand if you want to ask it verbally. Okay, I go try this again. I'm gonna wrap this meeting up for today. I thank you all for coming and joining us. I hope you found the information useful, and we will be posting this webinar on our website under resources in the next few days. So please, if you need to reference back to something that was said, please go ahead and go to our eAR website. Again, a reminder, and Gabby, remind me the next date of our first Q&A.
It's February 21st. You can go to the previous slide if you can. February
Okay.
21st.
Okay. And we all hope to see you there if you have questions. And again, thank you and have a great weekend.
Thank you.
thank you, everybody.